Last time on Dragon Ball AT, the story of Bardock's exile was told, shocking the prince, though slowing him down not, as he would continue his assault on his father. The king, however, had different plans, as in a final panel, he revealed his Super Saiyan form. What will happen next? Find out today! But before we get started, be sure to check out our Patreon and Discord channels for exclusive content. The links are in the description below. Now, on with the video. The Super Saiyan form, the legend brought to life. This, Vegeta, is why I was so confident. Our story continues, picking up right where we left off in the last chapter. Moments right after King Vegeta showcases his Super Saiyan transformation, leaving the prince incredibly shell-shocked.
A Super Saiyan? I didn't really think the legends were true!
Indeed they are, young Vegeta. There's much you're unaware of. You didn't take your education seriously as you should have. You'd have rather played around with that full Kakarot. As we'd hear the king's response, immediately upon that statement, in the next panel, we'd see the king dashing in and punching the prince across the face, sending him flying through the air. As we see the prince crashing through some boulders, he eventually skids to a stop, catching himself, as he's then seen with the welt covering his eye from his father's punch, just lamenting.
Darn it! That hurt! His power's incredible!
But the prince would be cut short upon his reflection, as the king would immediately appear, kicking him right in his ribcage, not giving him a moment more to recover.
And now, Vegeta, this is the end for you!
As in the next panel, we truly do see the king going for broke, as he would then be seen gathering energy for an all too familiar technique. A family technique for our family reunion. What a fitting end.
Gallic Gun!
And looking to end it, the king would be, as the beam would shoot towards the prince at light speed, with Vegeta only having enough time to let out.
Blast! That's going to do some serious damage! I can't avoid it!
But as the prince would note his impending doom, Beerus would be seen, giving attention to the fight at hand, going on to say,
"What an interesting development indeed. Though it shouldn't kill him on contact. If it does, I guess he wasn't really worth the time and effort of a destroyer anyway."
And upon Beerus making his sarcastic remark, a huge explosion is then both seen and heard coming from the location where the prince was. As in the aftermath, we would see the prince falling from the smoke with the velocity of a rocket, as he's only able to mutter,
"How did he achieve such power?"
Just as Prince Vegeta would utter those words, however, he would then land on the ground with a thud at the feet of the king, as the king would then go on to grant the prince's request, answering him, "I'll tell you if you wish to know before I put you out of your misery, boy. It was beyond frustrating. Every moment of every day, I, the king, was forced to feel inferior to a subject, knowing he could eliminate me any time had I not banished him." And upon saying that, we're then taken to a flashback 2 months ago on the fateful day the Saiyans left with the Omni King, as King Vegeta is seen in a dark room punching a pillar. How was he able to reach the legendary transformation and not me? I don't get it. As we continue to see the king's rage in the next panel, he would then go on, "No, I can't have that. I won't stand for it." And as the flashback would continue, we then see the king training with the giant Uzaru, attempting to push himself to his limits in hopes of breaking them. As zooming in, we would see a battle-damaged King Vegeta. "This can't be my limit outside of my Uzaru transformation. I refuse to believe it." And upon hearing that internal struggle, the Uzaru would then be seen jumping into the sky, crushing the light ball, causing the transformation to fizzle. As in an unexpected turn of events, the Uzaru is revealed to have been a beautiful Saiyan woman. But just who is she?
My love, let's stop here for the day. You've made massive improvement. Anyone else's transformation wouldn't have been able to stop you.
As in an unbelievable twist, it would be revealed to be none other than the king's wife, the prince's mother, as King Vegeta would then go on to angrily yell out, "How dare you pity Scalia? You will show your king respect!" As the king would holler with disdain, that would seem to be just the trigger he needed, as he's seen having achieved his goal in reaching the Super Saiyan form, as he would then go on to say, So it's finally happened. I guess I owe you an apology, along with a thanks, Scalia, my dear.
I'm so proud of you, my king. I knew you could do it.
The moment Scalia gives her acknowledgement, the two would close in on one another for a hug of two lovers. As they enter arm's reach of one another, Scalia would be stopped dead in her tracks as a look of dread would cover her face, along with the remnants of certain assault. And in brutal fashion, it would be revealed that King Vegeta would have went and stabbed Scalia with an energy sword. Though unrefined, not too different than we saw Vegeta do against Super Buu, as he would then just go on to coldly say, "As gratitude, I'll put you out of your misery now before you see what becomes of our wretched people." As in the next panel, we see the king having removed the energy sword as Scalia falls to the ground as her pupils fade in and out, with her seemingly last words being,
Vegeta, why?
and last words they would be, her lifeless body would then lay on the ground as the king would loom over it, not showing a shred of remorse or emotion. To be shown pity by a woman, and my wife no less. Pathetic. You didn't truly even deserve a death of such dignity. In the next panel, however, going back to the present, the king would then be seen with a smug expression on his face as he would continue telling the prince, "You see, son, your mother's downfall comes only from her foolishness, nothing more." And with that heartless line dropped, the prince would then be seen having an absolute meltdown, quickly becoming unhinged. "Mother is dead? You killed her? You can't be serious." In contrast to the prince, however, the king would then be seen in a more grotesque and sadistic fashion, as if he's enjoying seeing his son's misery, all the while adding insult to injury. "Oh, I'm dead serious." And that play on words would seem to be the last straw, as the prince would then be seen completely losing it with a violent explosion of energy surrounding him. And in the aftermath, a huge crater is seen, having to be at least 100 feet deep, with smoke rising from the center. It wouldn't be long, however, before the prince would be seen ascending from the crater with blonde hair and emerald pupils. The prince has finally done it. "No, it's not possible. He can't have achieved that at such a young age," King Vegeta would say, as both his voice and body would involuntarily be shaking. As in the next panel, we see a full body shot of the prince in all his Super Saiyan glory, no doubt aiming to reclaim his place at the top of the power hierarchy in his family. "Mother, I will avenge you," the young prince would declare, as there's clearly no forgiveness for his father. And in the final panel of the chapter, both Kakarot and Vegeta would be seen in Super Saiyan form, eyes deadlocked on their opponent, as both Saiyans would simultaneously say the same thing to the obstacles in their way. "Your reign of terror ends here." But that's it for today. If you stuck around this long, leave a comment saying ruthless. What you're seeing now is a preview of the next chapter. If you can't wait for it, be sure to check out our Patreon because it's out right now. The link is in the description below. Till next time, See ya!